Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the New England Patriots and the Chicago Bears. With that, let's get out to venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Standing by with the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. From up top next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, folks, we were already excited for this game. And then before the contest, you and I are down on the field outside the white lines.
Yes, we were following the rules.
We were following the rules, and a ball comes over our direction, but we can't see it. Somebody yells heads up, and instinctively you turn around and you snare it one-handed with your off left hand. So now we're really ready for football.
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves. Not like what the guys are wearing playing the game now. But wasn't that a whole lot better than that time we were down there? And I got the coffee spilled on me when I got nailed by the punt returner.
That happened to the Vikings, right?
Yes, a much better job of being heads up this time. Thank you for the notice.
This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. They're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career, but that will to win, he's had that probably since birth, and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. Watching him play, it can be an absolute joy unless you're on the other team.
Throwing on first down is Brady, and he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. And finding Edelman underneath, that's a recipe for success.
Typical route for a good slot receiver, and Edelman's one of the best in the game. Knows how to go inside what one of my college coaches used to call the briar patch. Got to go in there where it's tough and make those tough catches. And not only can he do it, he can often run away from people after the catch.
Brady's throw there complete to Edelman, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. This is one thing you can't do with Tom Brady. Let him get in a rhythm, let him get rolling early.
Every time you talk about Tom Brady or any other great quarterback, you always talk to the defensive guys and they say, you got to get him off his spot. What they mean by that is when you go back 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drop, and they just hit the same spot, and then they're set up to throw the ball, get them to move a little bit, get them to hold the ball. And the pressure that affects just about any quarterback, right up the middle. Remember the Super Bowl? Atlanta's best success came up the middle pressure, what we call gut pressure.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Play action. Now it's Brady. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 26. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Wait, 20! Marcus 59, Marcus 59. Yo. Hey, check it.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
Wait, set, 53!
On 2nd and 7, Brady goes underneath here to White. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, they have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Wait, set, wait, deep! Double tight, guys. Wait, 28!
Working from the gun, it's Brady. That's caught by the tight end, Lacoste. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. From 4 yards out. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by their quarterback who grew up just outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie, Mitchell Trubisky. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The first carry for the shifty Tariq Cohen. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Now Trubisky on first down. That is caught by Cohen. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be a 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Throwing here, Trubisky. He'll find Miller. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now it's Trubisky. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. Back deep for New England, Julian Edelman. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Delayed give there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
And I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
Brady hitting Dorsett complete. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Brady's got his guys 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. He's got a man, complete. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there?
Yeah.
Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
Wait, set. 380. Mike is 59. Mike the 59. And shadow.
Brady now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Brady now to throw. Complete to Dorsett. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on third.
Could play an exotic coverage.
Hey, go 66.
Shotgun now for Brady. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
I remember Philip Dorsett coming out of the University of Miami, ready to hit the league. All we talked about was speed, speed, speed. Just throw it to him, and you've got a great chance at a completion, but not that time.
Not that time. They tried a deep downfield with his speed, but incomplete. On fourth down, on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want to.
Trubisky will throw. They'll roll him out right. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here.
Now it's Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, let's go, let's go.
Here's Trubisky to throw. He's got Burton here. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 39.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. It's caught. It's Miller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Come on, fellas.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Davis will try to run for it. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
First down, a run with Cohen. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
From the 44, Trubisky, and his throw is incomplete. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky, and he's got Miller. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving.
Hey, we got 4.
After the penalty, it's Davis. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense, and this home crowd, they're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
180. 50 left to Mike. Watch the out.
On 2nd down, it's Cohen. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
They try again with Cohen, and he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They start the drive with White. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike, 58, right there. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Yeah, they're going to try to eat some clock with Michel. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Brady. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for New England. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say that was a game-saving play.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Trubisky. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for them. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who have had the receivers on lockdown.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? So they take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. You just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
Wait, 58, come on. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins. We hit. Alert.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Another incompletion would certainly be ideal defensively. A big play now. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Brady, and a dump off to White. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for New England. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. So now Trubisky and the Bears down 7-6, 2:01 remaining. They'll have one play here just north of the 2-minute warning. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Connecting with Burton here over the middle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
That gets them the 1st down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
Mike 51.
Trubisky to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Here's Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. That's Burton. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the 1st. Obviously a big 1st down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Dante Hightower coming in for the sack from his linebacker spot.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
And you can almost feel Trubisky saying, let's get to the line and hurry up. Back to throw. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Now the Bears going to call the 1st of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Finding Gabriel, complete. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Trubisky will come up here 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Back to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their 1st. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is and nothing but daylight ahead. The 40, the 20, 10, and he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
One more extra point attempt for good measure. So it is up and good, and what was a one-point game to the very end actually winds up an 8-point victory. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.